Hello and welcome to the video. My name is Vaselli and today we're going to be talking about Dehancer and whether it's still worth it with the announcement of film look in DaVinci Resolve. Now, Dehancer actually reached out to me quite a while ago at the end of 2022 asking if we could do a collaboration, if I wanted to test their products out in exchange for a license, which is kind of what this video is. But recently I was working on a project with the Blackmagic Cinema Camera 6K, which I'm recording this video on, and also a project in Unreal Engine where I was kind of looking to get more of that film look, and I was looking into Dehancer again, and I figured I'd reach out to them to test the product out and see what I thought of it. So I guess technically this is a bit of a sponsor video, but that being said, I'm just going to speak my thoughts and feelings on it, especially with the announcement of film look in Resolve. So it's kind of hard to recommend a product such as Dehancer when, there's a tool very, very similar to that now in Resolve for free. But that being said, I'm going to dig into the pros and cons of Dehancer from what I've found, show you some footage as well, just of me using Dehancer in Resolve. Just kind of stack it up to film look. But to be honest, film look's available now, so you can go and play around with that, mess around with it. And if you feel like you need more from it and you want more of that film look, then have a look at Dehancer as well. Let's get into some of the pros and cons of Dehancer. So one of the things that I really like about Dehancer is that it's built directly into Resolve. You can just drag and drop it onto a node and just get going from there. Now, having moved from Premiere Pro a little while ago to DaVinci, my workflow has been a little bit slower because I'm still getting to speed with the tools. Now, every so often you get a project through which just needs a very quick turnaround. For me, I found that the color grading and correcting process is a little bit slower in Resolve, but you're getting a whole lot more out of it than I ever could in Premiere, and it's just far more stable. But sometimes I just need a quick, you need to get it in there, correct it, and throw a lot on there just to give, the client an idea of the kind of look you're going for. So that's where I got interested in Dehancer, and just being able to kind of throw it down and just get that look across the project very quickly is incredibly useful. Now, obviously you can do something similar with film look, but it's just quicker, I found, in Dehancer at the moment, just to go in there because you've got that access to film LUTs as well. Now, what I like about it specifically is that you've got the speed of use by having all your dials, your exposure and whatnot, they're just ready to access. So it gives you the speed to work through some of these projects where you need a quick turnaround color-wise, but also gives you the granularity to kind of dig into it for bigger projects where you really need to dial in that look. Again, similar to film look. Now, another thing that I really like about Dehancer is the fact that it's got all these LUTs based on film emulations. Now, for me, when I'm in a project, a lot of the time, I really like to experiment with different looks and just very quickly just try different things. Now, being able to just select just a whole range of different film LUTs is incredibly useful for me. But on top of that, I can also export these LUTs and put them directly into the Blackmagic camera. So when I'm shooting, I can kind of get an idea of what it's going to look like at the end, which again is incredibly useful on set when you can show other people the look that you're going for, and also help you dial in just some of those settings to make sure it's kind of looking how you expect the end product to be. As well as that, they also have custom camera profiles as well, so you can just put directly which camera you're using in and the profile, the format you're shooting on, so that you can get a more accurate look as well. Now let's get into some of the things I don't like about Dehancer. I found that it's fairly heavy on the system when you've got a load of different plugins enabled. Pretty typical, and I expect film look will be more optimized for this kind of thing, especially because it's directly from Resolve, but it'd be nice to see Dehancer improve stability and performance over time. It is very stable, but it has definitely slowed down the system every so often. So for reference, I'm using an M1 Max, pretty much all top spec, and it does give me a bit of slowdown, but again, it is kind of older hardware at this point, I suppose. Another thing is sometimes you may be better off doing your kind of grade and everything else, your corrections, separately in different nodes, and then just applying a Dehancer LUT at the end, not necessarily using some of these settings, because some of the settings are a little bit too harsh, or they don't fit every project. So you're going to know if the project kind of works for you and if that's your style and you like to apply a lot of these film looks a lot. And that's kind of the key thing here, is that if you love that film look and that style, then I would suggest going for Dehancer over Film Look because it's just giving you a lot more features in terms of the look. That being said, if you just want to dabble with film looks and just see if it's something for you, then I would just stick with the Film Look in Resolve and just try that. And if you're ready to kind of go a little bit further, then jump into Dehancer. And that kind of brings us into pricing. Now, for a lifetime license with Dehancer, I think it is a little bit pricey for what they're offering. I think the tool is very good, but now that Film Look is available, I think they either need to look at that pricing and revise it perhaps, or continue to add some new features which differentiate it from Resolve. Now, if you've got someone to share the license with, I'd say that's probably a great way of doing it because the lifetime license does give you 2 keys. So if you've got someone to split that cost with, you're probably not going to feel it as much, and then you've got it forever. Now, some features I would really like to see from Dehancer in the future, and I know this isn't necessarily film specific, but I think it would help them differentiate themselves, and they've got the advantage that, you know, obviously Resolve is a whole software. They're going to be building so many different features, and there's probably not a team specific to Film Look, whereas Dehancer is just a honed-in team specific to this kind of plugin. Now, some things I'd like to see is I'd like to see them look at Scatter, which is another tool which allows you to emulate different filters. So I'd really like to see them kind of jump into that perhaps. So you could maybe emulate Pro Mist, you know, your black satin filters, pearlescent filters. It'd be really interesting to see that built into Dehancer as well. I think it would offer a lot of value to the customer. So should you pick up Dehancer or Film Look? Well, I think I've kind of answered the question in this video, but overall, if you're kind of just wanting to dabble with the Film Look, then kind of just start with Film Look in Resolve. And if you want to delve further in, then jump over to Dehancer and maybe have a look at some of their models, maybe give it a go for a little bit. You are getting that collection of LUTs with Dehancer, which is really great. I really enjoy using them, especially some of the more obscure ones. There's pros and cons to both, except for, you know, Film Look's available to you right now. Found that Dehancer has been very helpful in, you know, working with some of the Blackmagic footage. It's helped me get to that look quicker and also helped me take the edge off some of the more digital renders that I've been doing in Unreal Engine. So for me, it's been a very useful tool and I will continue using it and just keep my eye on Film Look as it develops, as it is still in beta. So thank you very much for watching. My name is Cam Vaselli. You can check out more of my work on Instagram and all that is in the comments below. If you are interested in picking up Dehancer, I do have a 10% off code in the comments below. Yeah, check it out if you're interested. If not, all good. If you've got any questions about it, drop me a comment below and I'll catch you in the next one.